Hello, everybody. Welcome back to X-Plane 11. Once again, this is the Boeing 727 V3 by FlyJSim. It is finally here. It hasn't been released yet. In the next couple weeks, you will be able to purchase this airplane. I was lucky enough to get a early copy from FlyJSim, from Jack, and a big thank you to them. They know how much I love the 727, and we're like, here, you want to stream it? You want to fly it? Here you go. So there is one bug that I know of, because this is a beta version of this airplane, and that is the flight director and the FMC don't talk to each other as of right now. It will be fixed when it's released, but as it stands, that is not going to work. With that said, we're going to do a flight from Memphis down to Austin Bergstrom International Airport here in the mighty 727. And this is amazing to have this in X-Plane 11, number one. But number two, they made a freighter. So this is a freighter version. Now, I don't know how to open any doors. I don't think you can open any of the doors, but it's a freighter nonetheless. With that said, we are doing the Pipey 4 departure. Now, X-Plane is not updating, so I don't know why. We have to do the Pipey 3 departure. iPuffy transition. We're going to do Echo Lima Delta VOR there. And then it's going to be a Windu transition and the Suzy 3 arrival because we can't do the Suzy 4 into Austin. We'll depart out of here at 36 center and we will arrive in Austin on 17 right. Flight level will be 320 today, so 32,000 feet. We'll get the airplane loaded up here shortly and get the fuel situated. I'll show you a little bit more about the airplane. Here on the left, we've got a little menu that pops open here. We have our V speed card here. Now, as the airplane stands right now, we're full of fuel and stuff, so we haven't put the numbers in yet. So these are all going to be incorrect. But you have a landing card as well. The airplane is red because it's showing, hey, your max landing weight is just over the top, and you can see the blue line is outside of the center of gravity. No bueno. If we move on here, we've got our options menu here. I'll put this guy away. And here we can change the clock time from local to Zulu if we want. It would change inside the airplane. Co-pilot callouts are enabled. I love those. Yokes are visible. Weight display is set to Imperial. You can change it to metric if you'd like. Weight and balance is enabled. You can disable it if you don't want to mess with it. And cockpit windows are cleaner right now. You can set them to dirty. It kind of adds more dirt to the actual little creases of the window. And TCAS VSI is enabled. If we turn that off, we won't have that lovely VSI gauge. Here we are, field of view. We've got exterior sounds. We can increase them or we can decrease them as we see fit. Interior sound the same way. I love having those options. Nav system, you can have an FMS in this airplane, and we're going to use it today. That is enabled. If you turn that off, you won't have it in there 3D. It's just the default FMS, so nothing big there. You can turn a GPU card or an air card on if you want to start the airplane that way. Don't mind that. That's the weather updating. But no physical models pop out when you turn those on, sadly. So keep that in mind. And the final thing is, we have the maintenance system. We can turn that on if we would like, and this will enable failures for the airplane. You can have airframe failures, engine 1, 2, and 3, and the APU. 727 was notorious for having APU issues at the end of its life. Trust me. You don't even want to know how many times I've had to hook up a air start and fire it up that way. Let's go ahead and hide that guy away. And here is our checklist. We have checklists, before start checklists, engine start checklists, you know, all that stuff. With that said, that is the Boeing 727 V3. Let's head up into the cockpit and get acquainted. So here we are on board the Boeing 727-200, and check it out. It is absolutely gorgeous. Jack went above and beyond in his team of people at FlyJSim. Look at this. I want to show you something really cool here. Now, you see that light splashing out onto the panel like that? That is actual light. That's not a texture. So there is custom lighting in here for every single light. So at night, it will actually light up things around it in HDR, PBR fashion. With that said, you can see it's a 3-man airplane. If you guys haven't seen me fly a 727 before, welcome aboard. But number two, if you want to see how I got the airplane up and running from a cold and dark state, on my Fabiana Live channel, I did put out a video on there of a flight from Austin here to Memphis in the DHL 727. So if you want to check that out, feel free, and you can follow along. So that's the gauge I was talking about right there. Now, if we open up our options here and we turn that off, check it out. Boom. You got the old standard IVSI. But we want the TCAS one. a lot of 727s at the end whenever I was working with them. They all had those. What else? I can't think of anything else. I think we're ready to go. As I said, this is good to go here. I have the nav selector here in the aux nav. That is what's going to pick up the FMS. So that'll be fantastic. Keep in mind when you move this originally, it will engage the autopilot. So just disengage it. Not a big deal. Pitch selectors over here. We will be doing IAS hold on the way out. And then we'll do Mach hold after that. We'll use our vertical speed as we see fit to go up and down, but we will also have to click right here to Alt Select to capture the altitude. It's an interesting autopilot system. It's the old Sperry, I believe is the name of it. What else? Nothing else. We have a working weather radar, which is fantastic to have. There's our altitude selector there. And yeah, I think we're ready to go flying. Let's go ahead and get to the weight and balance situated. As you can see, it's in the red right now. So I used SimBrief and I got some numbers here. Our load sheet today is going to be 34,200 pounds. So 34,200. You can click these little guys to change them to go up and down in weight, as you can see here. And you see how that jumped right there? Just by taking that out right there was fine. So this is position 2. We want our heaviest cans in the front. So this is going to be 34,200 total. Now, if we look at our cargo hold weight, we've got 3,750. But we don't care about that. We're looking to change this number right here, passenger weight. So we're going to fill that up. We're going to take the can out of the door because we're not assholes on a 727 freighter like this. If we put that right there, that's where the door is, and it's a bitch to get that can out. So we're not going to do that. We're at 39,000. We need to be at 34.2. So we can take out another can there, and that's 35. We can take out another can there, and we're at 31,980. We can take one out there. That's 27.3. And now we can add a little bit more. Well, actually, you know what? We can put one, like a cookie sheet or something here in the middle. 34.2 is what we want. So fill up these guys a little bit more. You want a little bit lighter can in the back here. And then we'll put a full can probably right here for 34.2. 34.3, we'll take it. Not too bad. Not too shabby. And the center of gravity is right there, 20.6. That will work. Fuel, 35,700 pounds today. So 35. Look at the total fuel weight right there. So we're at 25. We want 35.7. So 35. We're going to take some weight out for this guy to make it fly. Okay. Doesn't want to do that. 35.95. Okay. Max landing, this is going to be a little crazy on that. We don't want that. Let's take a little bit of weight out of the airplane here. Or maybe not. Oh, we have cargo up here. We want that. Take those guys out. We'll have a flyaway kit there. Let's see what we can do here to balance this out. All right, to make this thing fly, I'm going to have to take out a lot of weight right there. So we're only going to be able to take, looks like 25,740 pounds because of how much fuel we need to take. And we're just going to be safe about it. So we're just going to go with that. Not a big deal. Optimal altitude's 3, 4, 5. We're doing 32,000 feet today, so we're not worried about that. All right, so weight and balance is done. I'm happy with it. I'm going to sign off on that load sheet. We are done there. Let's get the ATIS. And it's 12775. Let's do that. Oop, 75.
Memphis INTL information Lima. 1700 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 2800 few, temperature 30, dew point 24. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runways
standard
36
pressure.
center, 36 left, 36 right. Departing runways 36 center, 36 left, 36 right. Advise on initial contact. You have Lima.
We have Lima. Let's go ahead and get our pushback situated here. We're going to go to better pushback here. Pre-plan the pushback. Where do we want this airplane to go? Well, we're going to have them push us out right here back behind this MD-11 right there. Hit enter.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
You got it. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and hit the before it start checklist. Battery is on. APU is on bus right now. Stall warning. Let's go ahead and give it a shot here. Right here. That's working. Emergency exit lights are armed. Lights out. Passenger signs as required. We have them on. It doesn't really matter. Window heat. That's what we want. Window heat. Where you at? Right up here? Yes. Turn those green lights on. Window heat is on. And radio radar transponder right here. We'll just squawk whatever there, and we'll just turn it to on. Let's put it on TARA. That's fine. Parking brake is set. APU, we're good to go on that. So what we're gonna do is an engine start checklist, which is gonna go beacon on and all that. But we're waiting for the pushback to show up, and once he's here and pushes us out, we'll fire up the engines. But we can go ahead and turn our beacon on because we're gonna signal to the ground that we're ready. All right, as we're pushing out, let's go ahead and get the airplane ready to start. So we got beacon on, galley power comes off, and it is off. Packs come off. So those guys get closed. Engine bleed valves will be open all the way across the board. We want 30 plus PSI, and we've got it right there. And now we can start engine number 3 first. So we open up the guard, and we'll put it down into the ground mode. And we're going to watch for N2 rotation, which we have right now. We want that to be at 20%, and we'll add fuel to the engine. And they've almost got us completely straightened out of here. Coming up on 20 just now. So there's 20. Add fuel. All right, they can disconnect, and we'll look for the hand signal on the right. And there he goes. He's pulling away. Listen to those sounds. They sound great. All right, the light is out right there. As we can see, we have fuel flow. We have N1 rotation. Actually, it's stabilized right now.
Bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a safe flight.
All right, we'll look for the pin on the right-hand side. Have a good one. All right, so we are starting engine number 2 now. And I'll show you what it looks like from the inside when we are firing it up. Remember, we wait for the 20% on the N2. And we're going to get it right there. And we add fuel. There it goes right there. Fuel flow is rising, as you see right there. We have EGT rising. Keeping an eye on it. And we have N1 rotation. N2 is still climbing. And there it goes. Start valve is closed. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1. You just repeat that for 3 engines. Before takeoff checklist we'll do here in a few moments. That looks pretty stable right there to me. Let's hop over here to this guy. And we're going to turn on our hydraulics B. There we go. And we have pressure. That looks good. Lights are out there. Let's go ahead and put these guys on bus. Like that. Go to gen number 2. Galley power can come on. Not that they need it today, but, you know, packs can come back on. And it's 1 and 3 open, 2 left and right closed. I'm just doing flows right now until we get good here. Auto pack trip is checked. Cooling doors are still open right now. Cargo goes to normal for the heat outflow. Moving down here, we go to flight for that 320. Landing altitude in Austin is going to be 541, so I'll put it at 541. Probably 540 will work just fine. Yep, that is fantastic. And all right, I think that the panel is set and we can kill the APU now. And the APU is dying. There we go. All right, before takeoff checklist, we'll just do it now. Anti-ice as required. Pitot heat. That's those guys. They are going to come on left and right. We got flight instruments set for departure. We've already done that. Flight controls. It's right down there. So if we go to right rudder, you'll see it move there. Left rudder, neutral, looks good. Elevators, we check those. And flight controls are free and correct. Speed brake is full forward, it's down. But we'll put it out and check it. And that's why if you were out on the ramp, you would see all of the speed brakes open right now. And speed brakes fully forward as we wanted them to be. All right. Stab trim set for takeoff. So let's go ahead and get a little card out now because that's what we need. And we're going to be flaps 15 for departure. There they are. Stab trim's going to be 503. So 5 is right there. So just bring this guy forward to about right there. That's going to be perfect. And E-percept knobs, we're going to set those in a second here. So V speeds are going to be 132, 132, V2 of 144. And you can see the bugs are already set right. Oh, maybe they're not. Maybe they are not. We want to set them 131, 132 is what it is. So right there. 132 for VR, same thing. Ooh. Okay, so he was like, nope, I'm there, dude. Whatever, that's fine. V2 144. Put it about right there. That's good to go. And then EPR is going to be set at 2.13. So we want 2.13 on this guy. There's 2, 5, 1. 1, 3 is about right there. It's going to work just fine. So we'll do the same thing for him. Yep, right there. And same thing for him. Just want to have that one. Yep, those are sets. That's going to be our takeoff power. And our climb will be 92 on N2. All right, so that's good to go. Yep, normal N1 is going to be 97.4 on that takeoff. So that'll work just fine. All right. So those are good to go. Let's get back to what we were doing on the checklist. Stab trim is set for takeoff. Flaps, we want 15. 1, 2, 3. There they go. Galley power is on. Electrical has no lights. Yep, that looks good. Fuel heat is off. Hydraulic pressure B quantity is good and normal. APU is off. And we set cruise altitude right there, 32,000 feet. And flight ground switch to flight, we just did. Number 2 engine bleeds are closed. Just like I said, 1 and 3 open, 2 left and right are closed. And EPR and airspeed bugs are set. We are ready to taxi down to 36 center. Gonna be a little bit of a taxi, but that's all right. Let's listen to the beautiful sounds of the Boeing 727. Taxi light on, parking brake released. All right, we are taxiing on out of here. Not worried about any panel lights or anything like that. We're going to cross runway 27 here. And we're going to continue down to 36 center, which is right off our nose. So we just basically go right down that way. And that's what I intend to do. We're going to watch out for traffic because we do have World Traffic 3 working right now. The only issue is that I don't have any parking spots or ground routes for them. So they just kind of appear here at this airport. But they are here nonetheless, and we'll have to keep an eye out for them. Left side looks good and clear. Right side is good and clear. Cleared across 27, and we'll continue down to 36 center. All right, almost down here to 36 center, and it's a little dark in the panel, so I did turn up the panel lights a little bit. Let's do a cleared for takeoff checklist. Start switches are not guarded. Now they are guarded. Transponder is on TARA, so it is definitely on alt. Landing lights are going to come on. Let's do it now. There they go. Autopack trip switch, we did that a minute ago. Those are good to go. Norm cutout. After takeoff checklist will be the next thing, so we are ready to get on out of here. We're almost down here, just a turn to the right, and we'll be on our way. All right, we are cleared for takeoff. Let's just make this turn here and line up on 36 center. Won't take too much power to do that. And what we'll do is we'll stabilize the engines at half, and then we will advance them for takeoff power. You'll hear the co-pilot call out the V speeds. He'll first call out 80 knots, which we will cross-check on the takeoff roll. We are lining up now. Thing handles like a dream on the ground. The taxi characteristics are just fantastic. All right, that's good right there. We're lined up, and we're going to go ahead and advance the throttles to half. Let them sit there for a second. That's good right there. And take off power. About right on there. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed is alive.
80 knots.
That's cross-checked.
B1. Rotate.
Rotation speed. On up we go. Positive rate. Gear up. I'm gonna hold this 359 at about 2,000 feet per minute here. 1 mile DME to that. And then we'll start our turn here shortly. There it is right there. We're at 000. And there's the turn right there. 6 miles to that. Let's go and start our turn. Heading 326 for 5 miles. Hand flying it right now. Got a lot of traffic around here. It's on the TKS there. That's a nice roll off there. As we increase speed, we're almost at 200 knots. We're going to start cleaning up the airplane. Flaps 5. Pull power back to 92 for N2. 3 miles to that. And flaps up. Getting the trim where we want it. 3 miles, DME. Climbing through the clouds here. Walking speed, we want to be 250 under 10,000. Pull back a little bit more. There's the turn, 274 now. 6 miles, won't take very long for that. We'll do a nice shallow turn here. Make sure we're going to increase it because that needle went quick, didn't it? Pull power back a little bit here. Flaps are up, lights are out. We'll do an after takeoff checklist here in a second here as we roll off. That's good right there. Watching our speed. Don't want to bust 250 below 10,000. And we're lined up right there pretty nicely. All right, after takeoff checklist, please. Seatbelt switch is on. Anti-ice is closed. Gear up, and we'll put in the off position. Flaps are up, no lights. Autopack trip cut out. Hydraulic pressure quantity, that would be all for the flight engineer. Right now we're flying, so 223 now. 223 it is. Man, the thing handles like a dream. It really does, hand flying it. Yeah, holds 250, perfect. All right, hydraulic pressures and all that's good to go. Back on course over the Mississippi River. A little bit more power in here. That isn't too shabby. All right. Now we're climbing out of Memphis, no problem. And another turn here to 175. Let's do it. Only 5 miles for that. Let's add a little more power here for our climb. Managing airspeed with our pitch here. Still manually flying it. We're not using the autopilot yet. We'll roll off on the heading here. Look at that. Climbing to 15,000. Bye-bye, Memphis. That's Memphis right over there. So that's the FedEx facility there, and we just took off up there, and now we're on our way to Austin. Just like that. We're at 250, so we should be able to put this into IAS hold here. Let's try that into IAS hold, and let's go ahead and engage the autopilot system to follow the track. Automatically, it should hold 250 here. And we want into of 92%. Is about right there. And it'll increase our climb. Airplane is behaving just fine. We're at 9,400. Yep. Airplane's tracking as it should. And we'll increase that to 280 after we cross 10,000 feet here. There's 10,000 feet. Lane lights come off. Should have gotten the taxi light too, but that's okay. Oh, we didn't turn our strobe on. Whoopsie. It's always one thing you forget when you're on a 3-man crew. One person doing a 3-man crew. All right, so we're above 10,000. We can increase this ever so slightly to 280. Now what we want to do is go to 15,000. Let's go ahead and clear ourselves to our flight level 320 here. I'll show you the reason why. We'll hit that, and then we'll go over here and hit Alt Select. It's armed, and it should do okay there. Now, what I'm going to try to do here is slowly advance this to 280. And the airplane's going to dive down a little bit here as we do that, because it wants to increase speed. Still watching. We at 92%. Yeah, right there. Still bringing it up. And 280 is about right in here. The 250, 60, 70, 280 is going to be right in the next line. Just watching our vertical speed here. Don't want to get our flight crew too sick here. There we go. That'll work just fine there. 280 is set. Airplane is picking up speed. It'll start increasing its climb again. And that's pretty much all there is to it with the 727. Now remember, what we used to have to do is we had to sit here and look at charts and go off a DME before we made our turns. But having the FMS tied in really, really is helpful. It really is. Okay, looking good here on our climb. 13,000 feet. We don't even have to touch the altimeter after 18,000 because we're already at standard pressure. It's that simple. And then the airplane will automatically pick up 320 as we told it to right there with that. We'll keep an eye on the weather radar if we need it, but I don't think we do right now. Almost to 15,000. We are 5 miles to BB, as you can see right there. And there's a pipe, and then we've got iBuffy, ELD, and then our descent will start before too long, because that's the long stretch between ELD and Windu. And then we want 280 at 17,000 at or above, or we need to be below 230 to solo. But everything else is checking out okay right now. We are pretty close. Yeah, I think we're in the Mach zone now. So what we need to do is increase this to Mach 0.72. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put this in Mach heading mode, or Mach hold mode here. And the airplane is making its right turn now. And we're going to put it to Mach 0.72 is what we're going to aim for here. Airplane's going to bring its nose down quite a bit, increase that speed, but it'll pick it back up, no problem. Checking our climb power. It is good right now. And the airplane is picking its speed up, and then it's going to start bringing the nose back up, and we'll continue our climb up to 320 over. That's the Mississippi there. Looks very nice. $100 feet to go, and we're almost to our cruise here. As you can see, yep, leveling off right now at flight level 320, and we are finally up here. We are 99 nautical miles to Echo Lima Delta, and then after that we have a 243 nautical mile stretch to Windu. So we've got a lot of cruising here to go. Enjoying the view out of the windows here, as we have ortho scenery all the way down to Austin. It is gorgeous. We just keep an eye on our fuel. We keep an eye on the hydraulics pressure, which everything looks great right there. And that's pretty much all we are to do here at cruise. I don't even think we have a checklist for it. Let's see here. 97, 92, flaps up by 200. Yeah, we've already done all that stuff. Mach hold. Oh, yeah, flight level 290 is our Mach hold to M78. So we did a little early there. Just got to keep an eye on that. That's all I need to do. Descent is the only thing that's left to do. So we're here, cruise. We are cruising along 54 miles out from Echo Lima Delta, and as you can see, we are cruising just under Mach 0.8. I might actually pull that back just a little bit more. About 0.78 is what I was looking for, 0.79, because we don't have to pay for the fuel, so why not, you know, make it go by a little quicker. Normally, you would just open up the chart and you would go off of your pressure and all that whatnot, and set your EPRs, but we're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to be cruising pretty much as fast as we possibly can on the way to Austin. Yeah, 50 miles now, so not too long to ELD, and then we make that turn towards Windu. All right, folks, checking in here. Been sitting here for a while on this cruise. We're at 32,000 feet, 42 nautical miles to Windu, as you see right there, 41 as it stands right now. So what we're going to do is put this thing into vertical speed mode, and we are going to descend. We're going to click this guy up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good right there for an initial descent. And we're going to pull our power back a little bit more. About 75 and 2. That'll work right there. And we're going to put this guy down to what we want, which is 17,000 feet. So let's go to 17,000. And I'm going to go ahead and tell it, hey, arm the altitude. We are on our way down. Initially 500 feet, and then we'll increase it once we get a little bit, probably about 30 nautical miles here from Windu. What we're doing is we only have 18 nautical miles after Windu to get to 17,000, below 23,000, which we can easily do. So we're just going to start early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Just ever so slightly getting our descent rolling in here. And look at that. The airplane's already at Mach 0.72 now and slowing. Beautiful views of Texas all around us. Look at all the dirt roads out there and little homes. Really, really beautiful scenery here. All right. And we're going to increase it ever so slightly. And pull our power back some more. There we go. That's a pretty good, healthy descent. We're going to get it almost to 2,000 feet per minute here shortly. But it's always good to start your descent early, because you only have 18 nautical miles between Windu and Solo. And Solo is going to be 280 and all that. Then Mislo, or whatever that's called, that's going to be 21 miles, and then 7 nautical miles to Susie. Then we get to move into Chade right there. It's going to be 4,000 is going to be our going to be the altitude we want to be at when we are trying to establish ourselves on the approach. So we are in the descent stage of our flight. How about it? Let's bring it down even more. And that is looking great. We should get to 17,000 no problem before we get to Windu. Let's open up our checklist here. So descent approach, seatbelts are on, anti-ice is closed. Landing lights, we'll worry about those when we get to 10,000 feet. Radio altimeter, we'll put it at, I don't know, 500 feet or so. Doesn't really matter. Flight instruments will be set to they're at 299 and 2 now. So let's go ahead and let's start doing some things here. ILS for 17 right, it's going to be 110.95. So 110.95. I'm going to put it in both sides because I've had issues with this thing not picking it up at all. So 110.95, that looks good there. It's in normal. And a course is going to be 175, and we'll do the course. We can't do it now, but we'll do that when we get closer. So that's looking good. What else we got? Flight instruments, hydraulic pressure quantity is good and normal, and pressure and cooling doors should be set. Cooling doors are open right now. I'm not really sure what the process is for the cooling doors. If we keep them open during the flight or closed during certain phases. Really, really not sure. There's a winding river right there. That looks awesome. Okay, so I think that's good. We're on our way down. 26,000 feet now, and we are 14 miles from Windu. And then we have that further down to 17,000, so we'll do that. We'll probably level off at 17,000 feet as well. That'll kind of work out for everybody. Pulling back power a little bit more. We're going to maintain a slower speed here. That looks good. All right, we're on our descent phase into Austin. All right, we are 14 nautical miles to Windu, and we're at just now 21,000 feet. Remember, not a big deal if we don't make the 17,000. We just needed to be below 23,000 when we get to Solo. Not a big deal since we crossed Windu. So, I'd say we were going to Windu because we're going to Solo. That's what I meant to say. It's 12 miles to Solo, and this is where we are right now. And look at that. We're going to be just fine. 11 miles out. We're going to be below 23,000, but we're aiming for that 17,000. Miss Low is going to be at 13,000. That's what we're really going to be working for there. Let's pull that back a little bit there. All right. Airplane's a little slippery coming in, but everything checks out okay. And if you see our weight and balance in real time right now, look at the landing weight has reduced dramatically since we had to take out that freight that we couldn't bring along. All right, everything else looks good here. Coming up on 18,000 feet next. And keeping that 280 knots, 250 we got right there. We got 260, 70, 80. We're right about 280 right now where we're at flight idle. That'll work out for everybody. And we'll get the local altimeter here shortly. We need to pick up Austin. Austin is going to be 1244. So 1244. Let's try that. Not picking it up yet. We're still pretty far out, but that's all right. I might get it on my phone just so we have that information. But right now we are 3 miles to that, 1 to go. Look at that. We're going to make 17,000 right at Solo. That's pretty damn good. So we'll keep it going down here shortly. This will be a good time to slow the airplane down. Yep, add a little bit of power here. That's just a horn that turns on when you don't have the flaps out. There's 17,000 there, 1 mile. Let's bring it on down to 13,000. There we go right there. And we'll go back to vertical speed mode. And point that nose down. And the airplane is headed down. We have 20 miles to get to 13,000 at 250. So we're going to make sure this airplane is slow, slow, slow. Just right above the horn. That'll work just fine there. Keep on descending. Made that just enough there. Was fine. All right, sweet. All right, so ATC would tell us what the altimeter is. So it's going to be 29er, 89er. I just looked at that. I didn't look at the weather report in Austin. We'll wait for the METAR, or we'll wait for the ATIS to pick up. So we'll just put these guys on a 29er, 89er for that. That's the local altimeter setting. So that is going to be good on our checklist. They should be happy with us there. We're at 15,000 feet, descending to 13,000. And I think we'll be just all right here. We just keep bringing that nose down. I'm really trying to bleed speed off here. There we go. It's a little more of a hefty descent. Yeah, so that's all good to go. Next thing's going to be the landing checklist, but we're not even worried about yet because we're not there. Beautiful ortho scenery all the way down here. Look at that lake over there. That looks really cool. Really cool indeed. 10 nautical miles here. I went 250, 13,000. We're going to make that no problem. Because once we get to 13,000, it's going to slow to 250. And then we make our way down. The Senzi says it's going to be at or above 10,000 at or above, below 16,000 feet. So there's a lot of room to play with here. With these two intersections, and then at or above at Vader, and that's going to be 8,000. That's not a big deal. We can easily make that, but we're just trying to stay right on time with it. Looks like we're doing pretty good there. The big one's going to be Jedi, and then that's going to be I love how it's Vader and Jedi. It's going to be 210 at 4,000, and then Chade is 4,000 at or above, and then Brahms will be 2,100. 2,100 is going to be what we want there. I believe it's 1,600 a final. But it looks like it's going to be 2,100. That's okay. Altitude light comes on when it's 1,000 to go. Oh, we are still descending. Okay. Oh, you know why? We did not hit the alt intercept. Damn it. That's all right. We'll just descend down to 10,000 feet.
Information November.
That'll work for me.
Zulu weather.
We'll bring up the...
visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 20,000 few, temperature 35,
Okay.
dew point 20. Altimeter 2993. Arriving
2993, see, it
17
changed.
Right, departing runway 17 left. Advise on initial contact, you have November.
We have November now. Let's just get that wind check again. A lot of stuff to do here in the airplane while we're in our descent phase. So that is okay. And I'm looking at the turns there. We had 204.
Austin Bergstrom INTL information November. 1900
Jedi Shade 300 173 to Brahms.
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 36. Dew point 18. Altimeter 2991. Arriving runway 17 right. Departing runway 17
Okay, we got the weather.
left.
We know what to expect there. We do. Descending down to 10,000. We're actually going to capture it this time, so we'll be all right. It's only 3 miles to that, so we're going to make that just where we wanted it. And this is going to help slow the airplane down at 10,000 feet. We turn the landing lights on and slow to 250. We just don't want to go below 10,000. So this is really going to help slow the airplane down in that 1 mile. There's 10,000 right there. Landing lights are going to come on. I'll turn that wing light on too for extra. There's the turn. And now we go 10 miles to Vader, 8,000 feet. Let's do it. 8,000, you got it. Vertical speed, descend. Airplane is slow here. Actually climb a little bit here, keep the speed down. Doesn't take long to get to 8,000 feet there. All right, that looks good. Let's have a look here. Flap speeds. 68, 190, 200. And so we're looking for that magical number of 200 to start putting the flaps in. Not a big deal. Put that away. Airplane is slowing up quite nicely. Got that 210 speed we want. And lane lights are on. This is not armed again. We got to make sure it's armed every time. This plane will catch you looking, I'll tell you that. And a little bit of power here will maintain. Well, let's get it slowed up to 210 right here. That's good. Let's add in that power to maintain it. We need a little bit more of a descent there, buddy. And go back to flight idle on him. Interested to see what this thing's going to do. It says Vader at 204, 204 at Jedi. Chade is 300. That doesn't even make sense. We're just going to go from Jedi. We're going to go to Brahms direct. That is what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and click that into there and we'll hit execute. Because 204 to 173 makes more sense, but it had an intersection there that's going to shoot us off to the north, and I don't want to do that. That doesn't even make any sense. All right, it's going to capture the altitude here. We got 2 miles to get to there, so keep on descending, buddy. Maintaining speed pretty darn good here. And we've got 110.95 on both sides. We're going to be ready to start picking up the ILS, hopefully. If we do not pick up the ILS, we'll just shoot a visual approach 17 right. Not a huge deal. There's 8,000 right there. And then now we go Jedi to 4,000, 210, 4,000 feet. You got it. Vertical speed mode. And we are descending. And then after that, we go to Brahms, 2,100 feet. We can easily do that. And a little bit of turbulence here and there. Not too much on the way in. And we'll go to a heading hold mode, actually, and try to pick up the ILS. So we are not too far out from the airport. See the highway there. Still trying to find the airport out there in the distance somewhere. 173. So we're still out there a little bit. 15. So that's 18, 21. So we're just roughly 30 miles out still. So that's the reason why we can't see the airport just yet. And I will be putting it on a heading mode here in a little bit. But we're going to get at least going to Brahms. And once from Brahms, we should be good and established. Okay, 5,700 feet. We're looking good here. Just going to throw our slats out. It's going to help slow the airplane down. That's the airport right there on our left. That's our runway right there. We're going to be parking right there. If you're wondering, that's what we're doing. So I'm actually okay with this heading. Let's just go ahead to 210 on the heading. And we'll put him to turn knob here. There we go. We have the ILS popping up now. Kind of giving ourselves a little bit of a manual turn here. Actually, it seems to be okay right there. Let's go ahead and we'll put it on nav loc. And it will try to pick up the localizer here. Got the glide slope popping in. Yeah, we know. A little bit of turbulence here on the way in. Flaps 5. Help slow this puppy down. We'll be coming up on 4,000. Let's go ahead and descend to 2,100 feet. You can hit this mode switch and go to 100. That's how you switch between those two. Seems to be good. Doing pretty darn good there. There's auto glide slope over there too. I think we go to auto and then GS. You know, that's a good question. Let's see what our options are here. Manual glide slope or auto glide slope, nav loc on the nav selector. I think auto glide slope is going to do both if we do that. It should arm the approach. I mean, we'll find out if it does, but either way, I think we can just do a visual approach here. We can just do this ourselves. We've got the stuff. We're just going to descend to 2,100 and then we'll intercept the glide slope. And we'll do a visual approach for 17 right. Since there's not a cloud in the sky, I'm not worried about it. Airplane is slowing up really nicely here. Yeah, I know you're going to go "ma" to us. Wait for the glide slope to start coming down here. Make sure that's armed. The altitude capture is. Okay, slowing up. Go flaps 15. We'll be down to 2,100 before you know it. There we go. It's going to help slow her down. Gear down. Put up on 2,100 feet right there. We're going to let the airplane slow down. Yeah. All right, let's look at our cards here. We've got landing speed, VRF's 129 today, so 130. And you can hit set bugs for that too. It'll set the bugs automatically for 129. There we go. Add some power here. All right, let's go ahead and just kill the autopilot. This thing is going to try to do some crazy stuff to us here. It doesn't even seem like it's even picking up the ILS, does it? Really doesn't seem like it is at all. Hello. Hello. Put that away. flaps 20. I think the ortho in this scenery has some discrepancies, to say the least. That's all right. Taxi light comes on. We're right on the glide slope now, so I'm happy with that. Letting the airplane slow up. Flaps 30. Glide slope is working. I'm just a little bit below it. Okay, the ILS did work. We just came in a little shallow. That's okay. Oh yeah, glide slope. Trying to get on VREF here. That'll work right there. VREF plus 5. About 135 is what we're looking for here. Yeah, we're getting on the glide slope. Shut up. All right, flaps 30 is next. I said flaps 30, but I meant 25 on the last one. Whoopsies. Yeah, that power. When you add that last setting of flapping, man, it really starts to slow this sucker down. So be ready for that. Yeah, we know we got autopilot and lights and all this stuff. They're like, hey, you sure? There we go. Let's trim this thing out a little bit here. It's ballooning. All right, are the speed brakes? They are armed now, I believe. Minimums, landing. And that power. Yeah, glide slope. Just one off of it. Well, that thing bitches a lot, don't it? Yeah, it likes the balloon. That's okay. Watch the speed here. Watch our kind of porpoising back and forth. Jack said that he is working on the flight model right now, so the pitch stuff is going to go away in the final.
30, 20, 10.
Reversers come out. Well, we'll see how rough it was. I have the I have that plug-in that makes it always look a lot worse than it is. That's for sure. I'll make the high speed here. Wasn't the greatest approach, that's for sure. And we made it to Austin, everybody. We'll clear the runway here. And then we taxi back to the ramp. Bring our flaps in. There we go. Strobe light comes off. We can bring these back. Our speed brakes. Lane lights come off. And then we would do Apu Start. So we'll do that in a second here. Oh yeah, you have to hold it down. So this being an airplane that you have to manage by yourself, I wish you could just hit that start on the APU and it would hold for you, but you have to hold it for like 5 seconds until it activates. Take our left turn here. We go all the way down to the cargo ramp on the right. There's a Southwest plane leaving. Let's add a little power here so we don't hold him up. A lot of traffic over there. There we go. That won't be a problem for him. So now we're straight and level here. Let's see if we can get this APU going. As long as we don't mess with anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be enough. I don't know. Let's see. We'll find out if it is. It's still going up. Yeah, it is. That should be good. That should get the APU up and running. All right, let's taxi back to the cargo ramp. After landing checklist, window heat will come off. We'll do that after this next turn. That way I don't put this thing in the grass. That wouldn't be the best, would it? Because I can't really reach it from here. So we'll wait. I know that they're working on a smart co-pilot plugin for this thing that you can have 3 people do shared cockpit in this thing. And that's going to be awesome. That'll make it a lot easier. There we go. We can go ahead and do it now. So window heat comes off. Just like that. Anti-ice is off. Pitot heat. We can grab those over here. It's just these guys right there. Boom, boom. Those are off. Flaps are up. Lights out. Radar transponder can go to the off position. All right. Speed brakes are fully forward down. Galley power, or we can turn that back off. Flight ground switch goes to ground. There it is. And APU start. And we'll put it on bus here in a second. Get this thing lined up. There we go. You got a 737 behind us wanting to do stuff. Click U to the close and close. There we go. APU is good. And we'll put the essential power on APU. APU is on bus. And after landing checklist is complete. I'm just going over here to the right. Right in there. All right, I can see the ramp we're going to right in front of us here. And that 737 will have plenty of room to get on out of here now. Got the wing light. We'll turn that guy off. Keep the beacon and nav on for right now. And I forget if they have marshals here. I don't think they do, but we're going right over in there. Right in that position there. That's the FedEx ramp. Although they haven't seen a 727 in a very long time after they were retired. So be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought of the airplane. We'll see the landing. Well, you've already seen the landing, but I haven't seen it yet because I wait until everything's all shut down before I do that. Just in case, you know, the sim crashes and I lose the important stuff. Okay, turn this way. And we're just going down there. Just between that power cart there and those belt loaders. Actually, the power cart being right there is, yeah, that'll work. That's pretty big for a GPU. That might be the a air start. Yeah, we're gonna go right in here, right on this spot. It'll be just fine. We can do this. Start our turn and taxi light off. Turn it on in. And the 727 is kind of like a 737. You just line up the taxi line on your primary display there and you're good to go. For the most part. That's pretty straight right there. Do a stop right about here. It'll be fine. Parking brake goes set, and we can shut the engines down because we're on the APU power. We should get all these lights coming on, these 3 right here as we shut down. And we can turn the beacon light off. And we'll do shutdown checklist. Seatbelts are off. Beacon is off. Exterior lights as required. We have the navs on. Start levers are to cut off. Parking brake is set. Electrical APU ground power is on. We have it on APU. Hydraulic B pumps come off. Let's do it now. And air conditioning 4 bleeds come open. There they are right there. And we are good. Packs set. They are good on right now. We don't need them turned off because it keeps the airplane cool. That is pretty much that, other than the secure checklist, guys. That's going to do it for the flight today from departing out of Memphis, coming down here to Austin. Let me know what you thought of the 727, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.